Peace everyone, Unmasked here and welcome to day 3 of Inktober. I'm starting today's stream a little bit earlier than scheduled. I saw a few of you in the live chat, so I figured I'm set up, I'm ready, so why not just go ahead and go live. I'll take a few minutes to just say hello to everyone before I show off everyone's work that they submitted for yesterday's prompt, Tranquil. But before I do that, I just have to say some of the work that you guys sent in was fantastic. My inking yesterday didn't go quite as planned as many of you probably have seen. After splattering ink all over my paper, I spent some time this morning trimming off the edges of my paper to get rid of all that yellow on the edge. I feel a little bit better now. My pages appear to be somewhat cleaner. And today I'm going to be doing something slightly different. I'm going to keep the inking very, very basic. Super basic, and then I'm just going to get right into the colors. I had pretty bad experience with the colors yesterday, so I'm going to just try to keep the inking real simple, get it done quick, and then just get right into the acrylic inks, because that's what I'd like to do. So real quick, let me just say hello to everybody. I see Silver, PUBG, Ifran, Arella, Gihan Sneaks, Angel Watcher, Taku, Genie. Hopefully I pronounced your name right. Apologize if I didn't, but thank you guys so much for coming into the live stream. And I think that Barbara and Anna, hello, and Lindy. So I'm going to go ahead and start showing off everybody's drawings here. Like I said, they were fantastic. Remember, if you want to have your drawing, your Inktober piece featured, join the Unmasked Family Facebook group. I have the link for that in the description, and I post an announcement there for each day. And so today's prompt is roasted, which I'm not gonna lie, this one was really hard for me to think up anything to do. I was stuck for like all evening yesterday and all morning today, and I finally came up with something, and part of it is actually drawn and kind of off screen right now because it's going to come in at the end. So there's a little story here happening in my piece that won't be revealed until the end, and then the whole theme will come together and it will make sense. But this prompt definitely threw me for a loop. I had no idea what to do here. One of the things that I like to do when I don't have an idea is I'll just Google the prompt. So I typed in roasted, and it just showed me a bunch of baked chicken, and I was like, okay, this is not working. I need to figure out what else coincides with the word roasted. And I finally kind of came up with an idea, and I started sketching a little bit, and then it just materialized into the project that I'm going to be doing today. Once the pictures finish going through, I think that's it. So thank you again for everybody that submitted drawing for yesterday's prompt. There was a bunch, as you just witnessed, and yeah, a lot of really, really great ones, so thank you so much. Let me just double check to see if there's any questions in the chat. Hello Dale, Vegan Mac Feagle. Oh, I'm glad you were able to make it as well. Oh, Chrissy is also live at the same time. Great artwork from all. Yes, definitely. You guys are doing a fantastic job with Inktober. I'm gonna just jump right into quickly getting these lines inked of Nugget and his best friend Noodle, who we were introduced to on day 1. After today, 3 days down, that just means 28 more days to go. Hopefully you guys are handling the prompts all right. Like I said, today's prompt definitely threw me off. What is tomorrow's prompt? I think tomorrow's is chicken. Let me double check really quick. No, tomorrow's is spell. That one sounds like it could be fun, especially given that we're in October. Halloween's going to be coming up real soon. So when I initially thought of spell, I was thinking I was thinking like spelling words, but I'm really terrible at spelling. So it quickly shifted over into like casting spells, like a witch or something like that, and that's probably what I'm going to lean towards doing, is like a witch, something along those lines. You guys will have to let me know what your ideas are for today's prompt and what you are thinking for tomorrow. Maybe we can all help each other out working through these prompts and coming up with ideas. But I will most likely be doing a witch tomorrow for obvious reasons. But if you guys have any good ideas, feel free to let me know. And of course, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I love questions. I know in a lot of cases, this might be the first time I've seen some of you in the live chat. So if you're unfamiliar with my channel, I really enjoy questions and I never get enough of them. So if you have any question at all, don't hesitate to ask, because I just enjoy answering questions. I kind of pride myself on being really open on my streams and honest, and so if you guys, you know, have anything, then I'm most likely willing to answer. As you can see, these the lines here that I'm inking are very basic, very simple. And I'm going a little bit thicker here with my inked lines because I plan on coloring, and I want the characters to stand out among the colors. So I want to get the lines nice and heavy. Got a little nugget here. Coffee beans for roasted. That is a good one. And tomorrow a cauldron. I like that idea. Gonna make a magic cat from Alice in the Wonderland. Oh, that's a really cool idea. What is that? The Cheshire cat, I think is the name. Something like that. Hello, Leonie? Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. People call you a witch, but you use a vacuum cleaner. That's funny. That would be kind of a fun twist, to draw a witch flying on a vacuum cleaner as opposed to a broom. I might actually use that idea for tomorrow's prompt. That sounds like a kind of a funny play on the stereotypical witch. You're either going to do coffee beans or a pig. Nice. Dean Martin. Dean Martin? Is there something there that I'm missing that has to do with roasted? Dean Martin? I don't know who Dean Martin is, so you'll have to help me out with that one. I've used tattoo machines for Inktober. I'm trying to get permission to post the photos. Permission from me to post the photos? Yeah, well, that's okay, Mary. You don't have to keep up with everybody. You know, if you're busy with school is important. So don't feel too much pressure to do a drawing every day. If you just do, you know, a couple drawings a week, try to keep it consistent. It's always a good idea to take a break from studying and schoolwork. And maybe when you're taking a break, you can just kind of grab a pen and doodle about. You don't have to feel like you have to follow the prompts exactly. So if you complete a drawing for today, you know, even if it doesn't fall in the lines of the prompt roasted, and you still want to share your artwork, you can do that as well. I have nothing against that. Oh, hello, Shiny. Oh, okay, so permission to tattoo your Inktober pieces onto people? Yeah, you're probably going to need permission for that one, Chris. That would be a very brave person. Alright, now I'll just do the scales here, and I'll be able to get right into the color. Let's just add this line here. Yeah, for today, I wanted to get to the coloring as quickly as possible. So I'm kind of rushing through my lines, and I kept the drawing very, very simple today, as you can hopefully tell. So I only got 2 little characters. We got Noodle up here hanging down from what I presume to be a tree. And then we got little Nugget grinning maniacally here, which we'll find out why later. Alright, let's erase the graphite. The other thing that I forgot to mention is if you're interested in my supplies, I also have the link for that in the description, so you don't have to guess what I'm using or wait for me to answer if you ask in the chat. Though I think most of you have probably been here from day one. Oh, hello Talia. Thank you very much. Glad you liked the drawing so far. Like I said, keeping it real simple today. I think tomorrow, tomorrow is Thursday. You'll notice that I definitely lose track of what day it is during Inktober. All my days kind of will start to blur together as I continue to do these daily challenges. And so tomorrow my live stream is going to be 6 hours earlier than what it is today. So either you're gonna have to stay up really late in the United States or wake up super early. But this way people in other parts of the world can tune in to the live streams. I can kind of spread out the audience a little bit. I probably won't be doing too many early live streams because I know most of my audience is in fact in the United States. But I'll also be doing later streams probably on the weekend, so Saturday, Sunday. I'll probably do like evening streams, and for those of you that haven't gotten to meet my beautiful wife, I'm sure she'll pop in to say hi on the weekend and hang out with us for a bit, maybe munch on some popcorn. She's known to do that. And then Monday probably be around the same time as today, And then Thursdays, I think Thursday is probably going to be the only one that I do in the morning my time, simply because I also stream over on Patreon, and I do tutorials over there, live tutorials. So I have to do that tomorrow. We are working on a portrait here. I'll just show you really quick. So over on Patreon, we're working on a graphite portrait. As you can see, we've pretty much finished it up. We're just getting to the face now. And yeah, so I have to do 2 streams tomorrow. Very, very hectic. 31 days, and I'll end up doing 35 streams. So, dude, Nugget and Noodle look like they got into your weed. Yeah, not quite the story behind this picture, but yeah, I can see his eyes are clear though. His eyes are clear. All right, time to do some coloring, and I'm gonna color in this circle. I don't know if you can see the line there. But first off, I'm going to make sure that I don't splash this ink all over my paper this time. Oh, that was close. That was close. Look at this. Look at this. I was bringing it out, and it popped. It popped, and it was super close to my paper. Actually, I can't believe this. Look at this. Look at this. I got red on the corners now. I just cut them off so that I didn't have paint or ink there. Oh goodness, this ink does not like me at all. Does not like me. Okay, I'm gonna get some water here. At least it didn't get all over the paper. It's just a little, yeah. It's just on there a tiny bit. All right, I think that's good for water. I have a bit on my desk. I need to wipe it off before I get it all over my paper. Not having the best of luck with these inks. They keep wanting to ruin everything. I'm asking you how to blend in colors because I don't remember to do them. Blend with like these inks. If you're referring to like watercolors or these acrylic inks here, it really is just a process of layering to get blends. Oh, hello, Renee. Yeah, I probably should prepare my inks beforehand. You're probably right there. But it's not as bad as yesterday, so I'll survive. I even checked it. Like I did check the ink before I started putting it on the palette here, and everything seemed fine. And then when I was putting it actually on the palette, it got stuck and then popped and splattered. At least it wasn't as bad as the yellow. Oh my goodness, that was just devastating. But I managed to fix it. I was a little bit in a hurry yesterday with the colors, and so today I'm just gonna take my time a little bit more and really get this paper covered here with the red. And see if I can't make these inks look a little bit better than what I did yesterday. Just paint further on and cut the pages on the 1st of November. Yeah. How to make confident line. A confident line using a pen. It takes practice to develop your micro muscles in your hands to have the kind of pen control that I do. I've been inking with pens for at least 15 years. So my micro muscles in my hands are very precise, like essentially a surgeon. And it just takes working with pens and ink to develop those muscles. It's kind of like exercising your hands, and there's really no secret shortcut to doing it. But one of the things you'll notice that I'm doing with when I do use a pen is that I always tend to pull it towards me as opposed to drawing like this, drawing away from myself. I'm usually pulling the pen towards me, and it's because you have much more control with the pen. So you can always try that. You can always try pulling the pen towards you. I find that gives me even more control if I do it that way. If you try to go too slow for some of the curves like around the body or the eye or something like that, sometimes going slow is not the way to do it. You have to pick up a little bit of speed, because otherwise if you go slow you tend to have line wobble, where you're so nervous about messing up the line that your hand shakes and you end up messing up the line. So that's another thing that you want to try to be conscious of, not go too slow with your line. Oh, hello, Chrissy. Chrissy, I thought you were live streaming. Did you already finish up your live stream? Is that what's happening here? Speaking of other live streamers, one of the things, if you're new to the family, I always have to say this because I see so many new names in the live chat. If you're new to the family, one of the things is that last year when I did Inktober, that's when the family really started to grow and come together, and we have a wonderful group of fellow YouTube artists in the family, several of which are in the chat. So if you have a YouTube channel, Chrissy, Wendy, Anna, I know that you're in the chat. I might be missing somebody, but feel free to let people know about your channel, and I recommend everybody that is interested in learning and enjoys live streaming and just hanging out, and if you want to get to know some of the other family members, then head over to their channel and subscribe. I don't have links for them in the description or anything, but you can certainly just click on their name in the live chat. Many of them have been supporting my channel for quite a long time, so I always try to give them a shout out during my streams so that people are aware of them as well. We all have our own unique style of both teaching and artwork in general, so you can get plenty of diversity among all of us in the family. Oh, you too are welcome. I think one difference that I'm seeing with the ink, the acrylic ink, also as opposed to watercolors, is that you see the brush strokes drying a bit more with the acrylic ink than I feel like I got with the watercolor, but that could actually just be the paper. I never tried these acrylic inks on watercolor paper, so it could just be the paper, since it is really smooth and the ink doesn't absorb into the paper as much. The brush strokes might dry a bit more prominently, but I'm going to try to get a little bit more of a solid color by doing another layer with this red. Or this pink. It actually appears to be more pink than red since the paper's so white. I added quite a bit of water to it as well. Oh, hello Ben. You just joined? Well, thank you very much. Glad you're here. Anybody else been struggling with an idea for today's prompt, or is it just me? I was thinking about yesterday during the live stream, I was trying to think of some ideas for today's prompt, and I was kind of leaning towards like a campfire, but I ended up actually forgetting that until now, and was racking my brain all morning to come up with what I came up with today. And like I said, it's not gonna be in context until the very end, because I have part of today's project off to the side, and then I'll reveal it at the end when I finish coloring this in with the ink. I want to see how smooth I can get this. You remember last year's Inktober, because I was just starting to draw looking for art channels. You found mine, and I was doing Inktober. You've learned so much and still one of my favorites. Well, thank you, Lady Marigold. I appreciate that, and I'm glad that you were able to find my channel and enjoy the content. It's hard to believe it's been a year. It's been a year for a lot of you. I remember most of you from last year's Inktober challenge, and goodness, it's kind of hard to explain how good it feels that you all stuck around for this long. I must be doing something right for that many of you to stick around for a whole year. That makes me feel like I'm doing something right. A dragon roasting a castle. Now see, why couldn't I think of a dragon? I like the dragon idea. That's awesome. I don't draw a lot of dragons. I've only drawn a couple dragons like that I can ever remember in my lifetime. But a dragon kind of blowing fire, maybe at a night or a castle, that is a cool idea. See, this is why I need to talk about the prompts with you guys during the live streams, because you've all given me some good motivation and insight. And when I wake up and I look through the pictures that you post on the Facebook group, I'm like, oh man, that's such a brilliant idea. Why didn't I think of that? And I was like, and I just feel like, well, I'm a day late, but yeah, better luck on the next prompt is what I usually end up thinking. But you guys keep me so motivated and inspired to do something unique and fun. This one is going to be fun. This one's going to be unique. I took the word roasted and kind of went a different direction with it. I didn't think of hot. I didn't think of fire. I didn't think of food. And you'll see at the end what I do. Hopefully you guys will find it as funny as I think it is, which, you know, maybe I'll get lucky. Dragon and Donkey from Shrek. That's a good one too. Later in the month's prompt is thunder, and I'm nervous because I'm stumped on how to draw a sound. That is a tough one. That's a tough one. Dragon roasting a chicken. That's a good one. I love the dragon idea. Man, why didn't I think of a dragon? I would have loved to draw a dragon today. Maybe there's another prompt later in the month that I can somehow incorporate a dragon. For roasted, you're gonna make a pigeon at the beach. That's interesting. Crispy? Oh, is crispy a prompt? That would be a good way to do a dragon. I actually kind of thought of something for crispy just now. Alright, I'm going to give this a moment to dry. Actually, I think I need a little bit more red here. I really need to let this dry. But I keep seeing like little spots where I want to fill it in more. All right, while that's drying, I'm going to take some more of my ink here. Clean out my brush really quick. I'm going to mix up the color for Noodle. I think I'll go ahead and paint Noodle first. He's orange. Get a little bit of orange, maybe a touch of brown. Oops, there we go. Add some water here. Drooling dragon. Oh yeah. I suppose you could probably use a bunch of different prompts for dragon. I know drooling's one of them. Maybe you can make a thunder dragon. It's called a thunder dragon because when it flaps its wings, it creates the sound of thunder. So yeah, maybe we could all just change the prompts. I'm gonna have a look at the prompts really quick while this ink is still drying. A chicken dragon on day 5. That could be interesting. A drooling dragon. An exhausted dragon, a galactic star dragon, a precious dragon, A flowing dragon, a cruel dragon. Oh, here we go. Day 12, a whale dragon. That could be fun. A guarded dragon. Yeah, that one. I don't even know about that one. Guarded. Guarded is day 13. Guarded. That one seems tough. 14 is clock. A clock dragon. There you go. Clock dragon. 15, a weak dragon. Okay, 16 is angular. That's gonna be another difficult one, I think. Day 17, a swollen dragon. Bottle. Scorched. There seems to be a lot of roasted, scorched. What is there? Was there another one? I thought crispy was on here. There's no crispy. I was looking for crispy. An expensive dragon. we can just do just dragons for everything. Yeah. Thor is a good idea for thunder. I like that idea. Yeah, the dragon guarding something. That could work. Alright, I'm going to... That's too orange, I think. You know what I really need? I need like test paper. Why don't I have test paper? That's not quite the orange that I'm looking for. I need a tiny bit of blue, I think. Drop of blue. I want to tone down the orange for this, for the underbelly of Noodle, because it's not supposed to be like completely orange. I want it to be more like a light tan color. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, I think this might be what I'm looking for. So kind of a lightish tan with a subtle touch of orange for the underbelly of little Noodle here. There we go. And then more of a bright orange for Noodle himself. No! Oh, I knew it. I knew I should have let it dry. I knew I should have let it dry. I was thinking, oh, I know I'm going to regret this. I should let it dry. I think I can soak it up with a tissue, though. I think it'll be okay. Yep, perfect. Oh, yeah. Like it never happened. Saved by the tissue. Oh, hello, Elise. I'm glad you were able to catch a stream as well. I was wondering what you were up to. I saw your drawings posted. I was wondering where you were at. And Jacqueline, good to see you as well. A nugget dragon. Yeah. Just put dragon wings and little feet with claws. That could be funny. Drooling exhausted star. Any natural enemies for slugs? Birds. Birds are natural enemies to slugs. And bike riders. If you ever seen, like, after it rains and there's a bunch of slugs that are on the sidewalk and they get smushed by bikers. Yeah, I always try to... it happens in the spring here in Poland. When it rains, there's like a billion. There's like a billion slugs, full-on billion. Like no less than a billion slugs on the sidewalks. So you're better off walking in the grass. But I always see the smushed ones from bike riders. Makes me feel bad. Yeah, salt is also... I don't know if you consider salt a natural enemy, since it doesn't actually move. But yeah, birds would be a good one. Hedgehogs love slugs. Aw. I didn't know hedgehogs ate slugs. We have hedgehogs. We have wild hedgehogs here in Poland too. Frogs like slugs? Ah, I wouldn't have guessed that. Those must be big frogs. They'd have a hard time eating the slugs I see here in Poland. Alright, I think that's dry. I need another tissue to clean my brush, and I'll start mixing up some blue for Nugget. I think Noodle is good. Noodle's good, so I just need some blue here for little Nugget. Tiny bit of green. And lots of water. All right, Nugget, you're next. I drew salt on Nugget for last year's Inktober. Might have been for fear or something. You know, I think I do remember that. Yeah, I think I do remember that. I know, we had a lot of Nuggets last year. Everybody was drawing Nugget. I don't know if I've seen any Nuggets this year. You guys are gonna have to show Nugget some love and draw Nugget in your next in one of your next prompts. It doesn't have to be roasted. I don't want to see any roasted Nuggets here. I want to see roasted Nuggets. It makes me feel bad. Nugget is too sweet to be roasted. Why are you guys combining chickens and hedgehogs? One time I was on a walk and we saw a slug trying to cross the path we were on. 40 minutes later, we were walking back and it's still grunting. Oh yeah, slugs are definitely not known for their speed. Yeah, actually, what was I'm trying to remember one of last year's prompts. I did a little manga page with Nugget, and it was fast. I think fast was the prompt last year, and I drew a little manga page with Nugget. I should grab my old book and show you guys some of last year's prompts. I know that many of you probably didn't see my drawings from last year, but there's some really fun ones there. I'm gonna give this one a chance to dry, and I'll grab my last year's sketchbook, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Alright, I got last year's sketchbook, so I'm going to move this out of the way and just give it a chance to dry before I do anything else to it, I guess. So here was last year's day 1, which was Swift, I think. Day 2, I don't remember, Fraction, I think it was. Day 3 was Toxic, which was similar to day 1 of this year. I don't even know what this day 4 or whatever it was. This one was Long. I remember that because I did long hair. A little nugget is sitting up here on her forehead. This one I think was Sword. Yeah, this one was Sword, and I drew a pen because pens are mightier than the sword. Or little Nugget sweatshirt. Oh goodness, who remembers this one? This one was a good one. I gotta zoom in here a little bit. This was one of my manga pages. It says, please don't see me, please don't see me. And then Eep, he's coming. And then he's here. And then hi. And it's little Nugget. Little Nugget's coming for her. This is probably one of my favorites. This was probably one of my favorites for sure, because it made me laugh. Oh, this one's a good one too. This one's a good one too. So it's got this guy, hold it still, and he's getting ready to hit this nail, and he's charging up like hardcore. Don't move, and then he's coming in for the swing, and we got little Nugget down here shaking like crazy. Oh, these were so fun. These were so fun. Yeah, little Nugget t-shirt. Oh goodness, it just started like raining like crazy out. This one last year was Gigantic. And Nugget's favorite food is cherries, and so we got him drooling down here at the giant cherry. Oh, this is the one I was talking about. So, how Nugget feels when he runs, and he's going like super fast. And then down here, how you feel when he runs, and he's just like, he's barely moving. Oh yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. That's what you reminded me of with your story about the slug crossing the path. Yeah, those are fun. Those are fun. I'm just gonna set that there. Oh goodness. Am I planning on doing any mangas this year? Definitely. 100%. I have to. They're so fun to do. The thing is, the only thing is, when doing the manga pages, I have to come up with the story, and I have such a short amount of time in between the streams. You know, I technically I have less than a day, and then 8 of that is sleeping. So, yeah, when I do the manga pages, the idea has to like click in my head almost immediately. for me to have time to do it, because they can take a little bit of time. You know, they take some time to do. They're tough ones. But they're super fun, and I hope that I can come up with a story. You know, if I had thought of the idea for today's prompt faster, then I would have actually done today's prompt as a manga page. That's what I would have done. So instead, I kind of did it differently. Yeah. Where is the juicy one? Oh, okay, I'll show you that one. Since I think a couple people have asked me where the juicy one was for last year's prompt. This one I think is still one of my favorites from last year. I don't remember which prompt it was, but I think this is one of my favorites. Let me find juicy really quick. I know it's in here. I don't remember if it was like early on or later in the... Oh, here we go. Yes. So this one is Juicy from last year. This is a lot of people's favorite. Yeah. That was Juicy from last year. This one is still one of my favorites too. It's I did this one with alcohol markers. There you go, Chrissy. If you want to see any of my other Inktober pieces from last year, you can just check out the sketchbook tour that I did, so you can see all of them close up and, you know, in detail and stuff like that. There we go. All right, I'm gonna grab a little bit more ink here. Yes, the Juicy looks like a drink commercial, one of your faves. Oh yeah, the ballerina, or the ribbon dancer. Yeah, the ribbon dancer with the zebra. Yeah, that one was also one of my favorites too. Oh, hello, anime artist. Yeah, no worries about missing the first couple days. Glad you're here now. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Thank you guys. Yes, I really like the Juicy one too. Like I said, some of the ones last year, they were kind of like a stroke of brilliance, and some were not so much, more stroke than genius. So I imagine this year's going to have its own ups and downs, and you know, when the good idea strikes, you know, it does, and I don't really have control over it, but it's just important to be consistent. So don't hold yourself to too high of a standard with what you create for Inktober. Just have fun, because that's what I consider it to be all about. I mean, if you're not having fun with Inktober, then I think you kind of missed out on its true purpose. I'm doing a marshmallow being roasted by fire. That is a really, really good idea. In fact, I posted the page or the thread over in the Unmasked Art Family Facebook group for you to already post your Inktober drawing for today's prompt, and somebody was already done. I can't remember their name. I feel bad. I gotta get their name. I know who it is. I know who it is. Stephanie, of course, Stephanie. Goodness. She did a really cute little marshmallows being roasted, and I was like, wow, that is such a good idea. When I saw it, I was like, that's such a nice idea. Why didn't I think of marshmallows roasting? Yeah. Yes, there is a chicken theme. I think it's day 5. Tomorrow is spell, and then I think day 5 is chicken. So yeah. Amazing drawings, you still got it. Nugget looks juicy too. Thank you, Tatiana. Alright, I need to do another bit of blue on Nugget because he's a slightly darker blue and his little flipper feet thingies are meant to be lighter blue. So I'm going to do another layer of a slightly darker blue. Hopefully slightly darker. I added some blue ink here, so we'll see. Try to make his main body a bit darker. I feel like Nugget should be a Family Guy character. Does anybody else get that vibe? I feel like he deserves to be in a Family Guy episode. Can't wait to see everyone's tomorrow. Yeah, I can't either. I feel like today is one of the more difficult prompts for this month, and so I think it's going to be a real challenge for a lot of people. So I'm excited to see everybody's work for today's prompt, and I have a pretty good idea. I'm really imagining what I'm going to do for tomorrow. I almost feel bad that most of you might not be able to make it to the stream since it will be in the morning. But at the very least, you'll be able to watch the stream when you wake up. And then, of course, you'll get to see what I do for the prompt. I'm excited to do tomorrow's because I actually have like a pretty clear idea as to exactly what it will be, which will be the first prompt of Inktober this year that I actually have a really clear idea as to what I want to do. Tomorrow's prompt is spell. Nugget can be a friend for Chris to get the evil closet monkey out. Yeah, that sounds like a good episode. I'm gonna try to smooth out some of the red here. I'm a bit disappointed on how rough all the red is, so I'm gonna try to smooth it out by adding another layer of red now that it's dry. I want to see if there's like a way to get it to look smoother. And I think my idea is that if I spread out the ink that I have on the brush after I get it wet with ink, if instead of leaving it like this and letting it dry, I'm just going to keep spreading it out and trying to let the paper kind of dry the brush out completely and just continue spreading it on the page to see if it helps it get smooth. Because it just seems a bit too rough, too much texture in it. The song is very relaxing. Well, I'm glad you like the music, PUBG. Is this watercolors? No, this is acrylic ink. Yeah, I have a link to these acrylic inks in the video description if you want to see what they are and learn more about them or whatever. I don't use them. I've only used them a handful of times. And yesterday was the first time in nearly a year that I even opened them up. They were probably angry with me as why they exploded all over the paper. I don't know, is it looking like it's getting any smoother? Because for me it doesn't. It must be the paper that it doesn't want to like dry like real smooth like I can get with watercolors on watercolor paper, but you can't really do ink pens on watercolor paper. That would just you'd be able to draw like one line and then your pen would be completely dried up. But you'd probably be able to use acrylic inks on watercolor paper very well. They do act a lot like watercolors in the All right, I think I'm gonna just let that dry for a moment. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask while we're waiting for this layer of ink to dry, and then I'll reveal what's happening here. Why is Noodle's tongue? Oh, his tongue should not be white. He needs. You know what? Maybe if I darken the circle, I think that's what I need to do. I'm gonna darken it. I'm gonna add some more red to my mixture here, and try to darken the circle a little bit, because his tongue is actually supposed to be like the color that the circle is right now, and it's not quite. The circle's just not quite as dark as I want it to be. So I added some more red. His tongue is supposed to be pink. I'm glad somebody's paying attention, because I would have forgot. Adding like a million layers to this. I'm gonna check the paper really quick. Yeah. So if you're wondering just how good the paper is in this sketchbook that I'm using, it hasn't even come close to seeping through the backside of the paper. It's a little wavy. The paper's a little wavy, which you even get with the best of watercolor paper. But it is not even close to coming through the backside of the paper. I love this paper. It works. This paper works really, really well with the alcohol-based markers as well. There, now his tongue is pink. What kind of sketchbook is it? So this is the Stillman and Byrne Zeta series sketchbook, and if you want to have a look at it, the link for it is in the description, so you know exactly which one I'm using. Although I think the link might be to an 8x10 or 8.5 by 11 size sketchbook, because I actually wasn't able to find the 10 by 12 that I am using. So I'm using 10 by 12, but I think the only link I was able to find on Amazon was an 8.5 by 11, which, you know, it's pretty close. I think the circle here is starting to get a bit smoother. Now that I'm going darker with my red, I think it looks better too. Alright, now for real this time, I'm going to let this dry. While that is drying, if you have any other questions, now is the time to ask. If it was bad, my watercolor paper was still wavy when I used it, or if it was just me being a noob. Yeah, watercolor paper, even like I have 300-pound watercolor paper that I've used, and it still gets a little wavy, a bit wavy when I use it. A good way of preventing that is by taping down the corners, and then once it dries, it usually will dry a bit more flat if you tape down all of the edges. Yeah, it generally will still get a bit wavy, and every paper, you know, has different results. Do I have a slug in real life? No, I do not have any pet slugs, though I could probably grab some from outside. I think they would enjoy their life more outside than inside my flat here, so I don't have any pet slugs. I don't have any pets at all, actually. I've been trying, kind of, sort of, to convince my wife to let me get a snake over the summer because, or actually no, it was actually a little bit earlier than over the summer. So earlier this year, I think back in April, maybe it was May, I don't remember which month it was, but my sister came out to Poland and visited my wife and I for a few weeks, and we went to the pet store a couple times just to look at the animals that they had in there, and just looked at the snakes and the lizards and all the other fun animals that they had, and it made me want a snake again. What kind of snake? Just a snake? Just a snake. I'd usually just look at the what snake looked the biggest, and then I'd be like, ah, I want that one. Just the biggest snake that they had at the time. But the thing is, with having pets comes an extra amount of responsibility that prevents me from doing other things, like just packing up and leaving whenever I want. My wife and I like to travel around quite a bit, so it's convenient for us to just be able to get up, pack our bags, and go wherever we want. For instance, like around this time last year, we just jumped on a train and went to Prague for like 2 days, and we like to travel around. Last year we went up to Gdańsk, up to the Baltic Sea, at coast in Poland, for like a week, and yeah, we're going to be going back to the United States, visiting my family very soon. So yeah, having a pet just kind of prevents that freedom from going about. We don't really have neighbors here that we know and would trust to feed our pets or water our flowers or whatever we would have. I wouldn't like to have to feed a snake. Yeah, I agree, Vegan Mac. Based on your screen name, I imagine that you are vegan, and I am also, in fact, vegan. I've been vegan for 10 years. So, yeah, that kind of falls outside the normal realm of what vegans would be willing to do. But understanding, I don't know. Everybody can have different views, I suppose. But with the snake, you feed once a week or so. Yeah, that's true. You do only feed a snake about once a week. Yeah, you can iron paper to smooth it out. What you do is you lay another piece of paper over top. So you don't iron right onto your paper. You would lay another piece of paper over top, or a piece of cloth. A vegan snake? Yeah, I'm not sure if snakes can be vegan. I think lizards can be. I think some lizards can be vegan. Let's see, how dry is this? I think it's dry enough. Yeah, I think it's dry enough. Alright, so I'm gonna zoom in here so you guys can see everything really well. Let me just get this correct. Alright, so here we go. Can you guys read that okay? I don't want to put the next one up until you guys let me know you can read this okay. Yes? Okay, perfect. You can read it? Alright. So, Nugget, you want to go dancing. And Here comes the punchline. You see? You see what it does? Noodle gets roasted. That's what I came up with. That was my idea. That was my idea. I wanted to get the music, you know, the music that always plays with those videos that bring in the sunglasses. Oh my goodness, yeah. I wanted to do that. I was so like I said, this idea, it kind of took me a little bit longer than I'd hope for me to come up with the idea, but had I come up with the idea sooner, I would have done one of those manga pages that I've done in the past. But when I came up with it, I had sketched this out really quick, and then I decided to do the word bubbles like this so that you guys could experience the story or the scene in like real time. I'm glad that you guys like it. Glad that you guys like it. Anyways, that's actually it for today. This one didn't seem to take as long as I anticipated, but I wanted to try to make it funny for everyone, and yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed today's live stream. It's always a pleasure. It really is. You guys make it so much fun. I can't get over it. Every time I get ready for the stream, sometimes, you know, like today, I started the stream early, like a half hour early, because I was like ready, and I was like, I'm here, I'm ready, I gotta do this. Like, people are waiting, and I can't wait any longer because I enjoy hanging out with you guys so much. And so again, for you guys' prompt, make sure you come join the Unmasked Art family. Share your inked drawings for Inktober, and then I'll share them in tomorrow's live stream. Remember, tomorrow's live stream is going to be in my morning, which is going to be about 3 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time for those of you in the United States, for which I apologize for. But then in the afternoon, I'm going to be doing the Patreon live stream. So if you want to learn graphite, pastels, colored pencils, or anything like that, some of the techniques that I use in some of my more serious artwork, then you can join me over on Patreon, and you can tune into those streams. I do those streams every week, and that just gives you like access to so many tutorials. Oh man, I've been doing the Patreon streams for quite some time, and I have a huge library of tutorials. Pretty much anything you could imagine wanting to draw or color, I have a tutorial for it. And yeah, that's gonna be it. Tomorrow's prompt is spell, so everybody get out your wands and create something wonderful, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Peace.